The Himalayas, the most majestic mountain range on Earth, are world famous for being the tallest, longest, and most spectacular. Beneath these lofty mountains, a railway project that has sparked fierce opposition in India is progressing steadily. The railway, which is expected to be about 540 kilometers long, will start from China's border areas, pass through tunnels in the Himalayas, and end in Nepal. Once the railway is put into use, it will completely shatter India's blockade plan. So, what strategic significance does this railway have to Nepal? What threat will it pose to India? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Nepal, a landlocked country located in South Asia, has a territory of 147,000 square kilometers and a population of approximately 29 million. Nepal is world famous for its majestic mountain ranges, especially the spectacular Himalayas, which harbor 8 of the 10 highest peaks in the world, including the awe-inspiring Mount Everest. Despite its stunning natural beauty, Nepal is one of the least developed countries in Asia. Its GDP is approximately $30 billion and its per capita income is only approximately $1,100, which is at a low level among Asian countries. Agriculture is an important pillar of the country's economy. About 70% of the population relies on agriculture for their livelihood. Main crops include rice, corn, wheat, etc. Did you know that Nepal's development has been hindered largely because of India's blockade? Nepal is a landlocked country, surrounded by India on 3 sides and backed by the Himalayas on the other side. Such terrain makes Nepal almost entirely dependent on India for external exchanges and trade. Over the past few decades, Nepal has been eager to break away from geographical constraints and strengthen connections and cooperation with other parts of the world. However, India has also set up checkpoints and outposts to block Nepal, with the purpose of limiting direct exchanges and cooperation between Nepal and China. In addition, Nepal's water and electricity are almost entirely supplied by India, and the import of materials requires approval from Indian customs. Nepal also knows that the entire country's economy cannot be controlled by India for a long time in the future. In order to get rid of India's control and influence, Nepal has been looking for cooperation with other major countries. In this context, China, which is more developed than India, has become Nepal's ideal partner. Historically, the transportation link between China and Nepal mainly relied on a highway, but the transportation capacity of this route is far from meeting Nepal's domestic needs, and it is a drop in the bucket for its economic development. In order to strengthen economic exchanges between the two countries and reduce dependence on India, Nepal chose to join the Belt and Road Initiative and negotiated with China to build a new railway, the China-Nepal Railway. As far as I know, the total length of the China-Nepal Railway is about 540 kilometers, of which 443.8 kilometers are in China and about 90 kilometers are outside Nepal. However, the majestic barriers of the Himalayas not only block the warm and humid airflow of the Indian Ocean, but also become a natural obstacle to communication between the two places. In order to open up this transportation artery, China once planned to build a 25-kilometer-long tunnel under the Himalayas to overcome this spectacular natural obstacle. Since 2018, China has been actively promoting the China-Nepal Railway project. However, after a while, the railway project seemed to have entered a period of silence, with outsiders speculating that it was because the project was too difficult, which might cause Nepal to retreat. To everyone's surprise, in 2021, China and Nigeria announced an investment of $8 billion to restart the project, and the construction is expected to last 7.5 years. The Chinese engineers believe that the China-Nepal Railway is the first railway to cross the Himalayas, and it will even be one of the most difficult railways to modify in the world. So how difficult would it be to build such a railway? The Himalayas are known for their lofty altitudes and complex terrain, with an average altitude of over 6,000 meters. Although the China-Nepal Railway passes through its branches, the average altitude of the Shagats area, where it starts, is more than 4,000 meters above sea level. From here to the Jirong port and then extending to Nepal, the altitude of the railway gradually drops to 1,400 meters, with an altitude difference of nearly 3,000 meters throughout the journey, which is extremely rare in railway construction. To complete such a project, it is not as simple as simply laying rails. On the more than 500-kilometer line, due to the steep terrain, the railway must rely on bridges and tunnels. According to the 2018 feasibility report, almost 98% of the China-Nepal railway sections require bridges and tunnels, of which as many as 45 tunnels are expected to be built with a total length of an astonishing 272 kilometers, accounting for almost half of the entire railway length. The total length of the bridge is an even more daunting figure. In addition to the complex terrain, the area is also located above an earthquake zone, covered by glaciers, and has extremely changeable environmental conditions. Frequent landslides, flash floods, mudslides, and extreme weather have all brought unprecedented challenges to the project. Moreover, it is not enough to just complete the construction. The railway must also withstand the long-term test of natural activities such as earthquakes to ensure that its quality and safety standards reach the highest level. In terms of technical difficulty, the China-Nepal Railway is undoubtedly one of the most challenging railway construction projects in the world. So, what strategic significance does this railway have to the two countries? In fact, the China-Nepal Railway is not only an important transportation link connecting China and Nepal, but also an important project in the One Belt, One Road initiative. This railway will closely connect the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia, forming a cross-regional railway network, allowing China to strengthen connections between Southeast Asia and South Asia. With the completion of the construction of the China-Nepal Railway, it will also become a key channel for economic exchanges, and various Chinese commodities can enter the Nepali market more quickly and conveniently. Similarly, Nepali products can also be smoothly transported to various parts of China through this railway line, via the Lhasa-Shagats Railway and the Qinghai-Tibet Railway. This means new opportunities for economic development for Nepal, which will help the country get rid of poverty and promote rapid economic progress. In the past, India has exerted influence over Nepal through economic means to achieve its political goals. However, India's strategy of continuing to exert pressure on Nepal through economic sanctions will become more difficult with the completion of the China-Nepal Railway, which brings greater political and economic autonomy to Nepal.